Kid is the 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 kid. Okay, man. We have a good show today. So obviously the show on Saturday went well. It went really good. Apart from that craziness of someone saying Rashford is upper tier too, but we'll go past that. So we're going to talk about Pep. We're going to talk about Sarri. We're going to talk a little bit about Leicester City as well, and then we're going to have a nice little Champions League breakdown preview. Now, there he is, just in time. Just in bloody time, man. Beautiful, man.
My name.
All right.
Relax.
So basically, look, let's just start straight with it, and then we will then go through, because I don't know how long this guy's going to be here. So,
yes, I do.
The first question here is Pep Guardiola a fraud?
My God.
Has he bamboozled all of us? Does he deserve all the praise that we gave him? Was he just an inheritance to merchants? Or is it a case of where people are being a bit too harsh on him? Look at his achievements for Barcelona, his achievements for Bayern Munich. 100 points for Man City one season, 98 points for Man City the next season. Is it maybe people's bias and hate for Pep that they're forgetting what he has achieved at Man City? So I think it's only apt. It is only apt that we start with Mane. So Mane, I know that you actually obviously have made a mention about how Pep Guardiola gets these Spanish no-names like Angelino to be in the team and everything. But specifically let's just focus on this thing here. Is Pep Guardiola a fraud, Mane?
Hey everyone. He isn't a fraud, no. I mean, if you win 2 back-to-back Premier League titles and you have the best record in the history of the league itself, I think that in itself is enough to justify his whole time at Man City. But the one thing we can say is that in Champions Leagues, he's come a little bit short in games that he should have won, based on his own decisions in terms of his selection, leaving out Kevin De Bruyne last time in the Champions League quarterfinals, and just making these errors that are for no reason, overthinking, like they say. He likes to overthink. And as well as that, this season, I think he became a little bit too arrogant, not getting enough players. Now we see some people like Angelino playing left back. Terrible. He shouldn't be in the league, honestly. He shouldn't be in the Premier League. He's terrible. So it's a little bit.
Why? Where did this dude even come from? Where did Angelino come from?
He was on loan in one of the other clubs that City gives players to for a while, and then he came back. I forget which team. Irrelevant team in any case. But yeah, he's a terrible, terrible player. I don't know how he's playing. He still insists on playing David Silva for some reason. I don't know if he has to have a certain quota of Spanish players in the team at every time, but it's just simple mistakes. He could have done more, but because of his arrogance, I suppose he did much less than he should have. So he should have won Champions, at least the semifinal. That's what we expected. At least the semifinal. And he was close 2 times, but he should have made it both times. But it's just poor choices.
So like City's 4 L's this season, do you put it mainly on Pep? Do you put it on the players, or do you put it on both?
I think it's just the lack of good players, but which all boils down to Pep. It's supposed to be he's the manager. He knows, and he has an unlimited checkbook. So there's no reason why we don't have enough players. Talking about injuries. Buy players that are enough. And Otamendi should have been starting from the start of this game against Man United. It's just he's not prepared, and he gets rid of players too easily without getting replacements. Like the older players, 2 seasons ago, got rid of Zabaleta. I mean, these players just keep him around, play him once in a while. Why did he get rid of Danilo, for example? Danilo was an exceptional, very good player. Not exceptional, a very good player. We could have used him today, but he just got rid of him for who did he get rid of him again? Somebody who's not playing. So that's those kinds of decisions are what will cost us. And I think honestly, it's time for him to go. In my opinion, I think he's done all he could. It's only gonna get worse from here. So.
Wow. Okay. So Ahmed, is Pep Guardiola a fraud?
We can't completely call him a fraud just yet.
Why not?
Because at the City team, He's won back-to-back Premier League titles, and we need to give him a little bit more time. See what he does in January. Transfer window. We know he has
I'm
an
not giving
unlimited
that bastard the
checkbook.
time. I'm not.
We know he has
Easy,
an
Abdullah,
unlimited. We know he has an unlimited checkbook of the oil money, so he can definitely make signings in the January transfer window, and FFP are a bunch of bricks, so it's not like they're going to come after him. And then we'll see what he does the second half of the season. I think in his mind, the title race is over. I think it's all about the Champions League now for City. I think if it's all about the Champions League for Pep Guardiola. If he gets knocked out, like in the quarterfinals or round of 16, then I think City will get rid of him. And plus, I think whoever City manages to get in the middle of the season wouldn't necessarily improve much on the squad. I think if they were to sack Pep, they should wait till the end of the season anyway.
Okay, so you're still with Pep is still a great manager, and that he isn't a fraud. He's still that dude in your opinion.
He's not the greatest manager. I'm not gonna.
Is he one of the greatest? Do you still affirm that he's one of the greatest?
Yeah.
Even if he took L's to Norwich and Wolves, he's still one of the greatest.
I mean, didn't Jurgen Klopp take too many draws last season? We could talk about any one of these managers at one point or another.
Okay, fine. All right, Liverpool for everybody. Is Pep Guardiola a fraud?
I think as a manager, he is. I think as a coach, you can say something different. I don't know how many people watch NBA, but I compare Pep Guardiola as like the Robert Ory of football. He ends up on a lot of good teams, and Robert Ory was a good player, and so is Pep.
He made some very big shots. He made some very big shots.
Yeah. I mean, you could say that Pep has too in his own little way, but yeah, as a manager, I just don't see it. I don't see it. And the guy before me said something about transfers in January. Are you kidding me? That like we're talking about transfers for City. So yeah, no, definitely fraudulent as a manager. As a coach, he's obviously has a decent CV. That's how I see it.
So, but you don't. So you would say like he's a bit overhyped with regards to how he's perceived as a manager.
Oh, most definitely.
Okay. Abdullahi, is Pep a fraud?
Man, he's a bastard fraud, man. He's a bastard. Yeah, I keep saying it, man. People keep telling me, do I have an agenda against Pep Guardiola? Yes, I do. Because he's a fraud. Because he is a fraud. Pep Guardiola can tell me. I asked Man City fans, they tell me he spent almost 450 million euro on the player. You can spend that kind of amount of money on the player and you can't deliver a Champions League. I don't care how many players you have. I do not care. You can't tell me you have Kevin De Bruyne, Leroy Sané, Raheem Sterling. Those are quality players who can deliver you Champions League. I don't care. Those players you have. Those players can deliver you Champions League. You want back-to-back EPL. For what? For that kind of money, right? If I'm correct, that kind of money, you can't tell me you can't deliver a Champions League. Everybody's abusing Mourinho. Mourinho is this. Jose Mourinho is that. Jose Mourinho has won Champions League in 2 different clubs, FC Porto and Inter Milan. Did they spend any money? No. Pep Guardiola almost look at Bayern Munich. Look at how much he spent in Bayern Munich. The least he entered in Bayern Munich was semi-final Champions League. That was when he ended up. How much he spent in Bayern Munich? You have Arjen Robben, pick. You have Ribéry, pick.
When he took over Heinkes' team, man, that was Heinkes' team, bro.
Yes, he took over them. You have Ribéry, you have Ruben, you have Thomas
Lewandowski.
You have good players who are willing to win something for you. Did you win them anything?
Yeah.
No. You need to ask Pep Guardiola, why do you leave Bayern Munich? Because there's a problem. Because he didn't deliver in Champions League. Because the boys are tired. You keep spending money every season and no nothing. I'm saying to all City fans now, they should listen. Either money through City Park. Listen. Pep Guardiola is not winning the Premier League, neither winning the Champions League. Until Guardiola leave Man City, they are not winning anything. I'm serious now, HH. They are not winning until that fraud, that bastard fraud, leave that club. It's not winning anything.
So just to wait. So you don't think that Pep deserves any credits for his 2 Champions Leagues with Barcelona?
No,
his treble in 2009.
He won that Champions League with Lionel Messi, Xavi Hernandez, and Andres Iniesta. That's when he won it. He won it with those 3. Those 3 players won in the Champions League. Those 3 players won it. After he left that Champions League, when he went to Bayern Munich, it was flop in Champions League. The same is doing in City. If Man City want to win that Champions League, they need to get Massimiliano Allegri. That is the best coach for them.
Excuse me? Who?
Yes,
Are you
yes.
mad?
That is the coach that's gonna
Yep,
win them
definitely.
Champions League. Pep Guardiola is not gonna. He's gonna keep
Definitely.
spending money and he's
Okay.
gonna be flopping in
All
Champions
right.
League.
Okay. All right.
Because he's a garbage. He's a fraud.
All right. Guardiola, you've talked, man. Damn. A1. Is Pep Guardiola a fraud? A1. All right. Hazem. Pep. Is Pep a fraud? Hazem.
Yeah, man. First of all, what do you mean by fraud? Can you tell me?
So basically, he is perceived to be one of the greatest managers of all time.
Mutai.
So do you
Okay.
believe that in light of recent events this season, we have been lied to with regards to how his season, so specifically how he said in his documentary that I destroyed football, that he isn't actually, he's been selling us a lie as him being one of the greatest managers of all time.
All right. So, okay, I would say if we're talking about people considering him one of the greatest, and him saying he destroyed football, I would say he's definitely overrated by those people. I would place him as among the top 10 greatest of all time. I wouldn't place him in the top 5, the very highest tier. And I would just say that for a system-based manager, he's done very well. And why I say that is,
So you're saying that he's a system merchant?
no, it's not a merchant. There have been many great system-based managers in the history, and eventually they reach their limitations. And we can see that with Guardiola, that he has reached his limitation to some extent with his system. For example,
But very quickly, someone in the live chat just says, name 5 greater managers than Pep.
oh, okay, definitely.
I can name them.
Yeah, I'll give you.
Okay. I know hasn't go because obviously you said okay, you wouldn't put him top 5. So name 5 better than Pep.
Yeah, sure. So first of all, I'll go with Arrigo Sacchi. Second of all, Sir Alex Ferguson. Third of all, Jupp Heynckes. Fourth, Ancelotti, and fifth, Mourinho.
Okay.
And I probably missed out some guys, but those are my off the top of my head.
He said I probably missed out some guys. Have some shame, man. Have some shame.
Because I forgot the name of the Ajax manager that won three in a row and actually invented the tiki-taka system that Guardiola took from.
Is it Johan Cruyff? Johan Cruyff?
No. Before Cruyff.
Cruyff
played in his team. The Ajax 3 in a row, 1970s, but I forgot. Anyways, those are my 5 that I know.
Oh no, go
on. So, yeah, I would say he's in the top 10 definitely, and Guardiola has achieved great success. And you need to be a top manager in order to achieve success, even if you have money. Okay, because even if you have more money than the other teams, you're not getting anywhere if you don't have a top manager. And we've seen that with PSG. They spend loads of money and they've not been able to win the Champions League for how long? Because they've had good managers.
Because they're losers mentality, bro.
But not top managers. No, but Man City. There was a time when Man City had a loser's mentality until they started winning leagues. But obviously, when you put money into the team, you need a top manager in order to translate that money into success. And Guardiola has done that, but that doesn't mean that he doesn't have his limitations. And if you see many of the managers that have stayed long-term and have had long-term success are versatile managers. Like, for example, Sir Alex Ferguson, quite versatile, can adapt games. Even Arsene Wenger, very long time in Arsenal, but he eventually also became too insistent. So I think Guardiola is going to win the league this season, and it's still.
Oh, you still think? Whoa, what? You think City will still win the league this season?
Yeah, of course. I think City's winning.
Oh, so you think Liverpool are going to choke a 13 points lead?
Yeah, I mean it's definitely possible because once they're very, very reliant on Salah and Mane, and if one of them, no, it's true, they are reliant on Salah and Mane, and if one of them, look, I'm giving credit to Mane. It's nothing to do with my, the Salah versus Mane. I'm saying Salah and Mane. So if one of them or both of them have a drop in form or get injured, then it's going to be very bad for Liverpool. Whereas Man City have more spread out, more depth in all areas of the pitch. They still need to improve their defense, but I still see them over the long run overtaking Liverpool.
Okay. So before I go to Muntaha, someone in the live chat said that you wouldn't put Ancelotti over Pep. I believe Ancelotti has won 3 Champions Leagues, 2 with
Yeah,
AC Milan, and 1 with Real Madrid. So
How many?
He
How
gave
many
Zidane a
league
career. He
titles?
gave
How
Zidane a
many league
legacy.
titles?
He gave Zidane a legacy in Madrid.
he never, man, he never had Messi. Simple as that. And he never inherited a Heinkes team. Munzaha, is Pep Guardiola a
Rinus
fraud?
Michels, by the way, is the manager I was talking about from Ajax.
Yeah,
Oh,
Rinus
okay.
Michels.
Munzaha, is Pep
Yeah.
a fraud?
Bro, like the question is like, I mean, like that's simple to answer the question. Oh, is he fraud? But if you see from the Champions League perspective, domination perspective with regards with Man City team, I think so. He is. But look. You have to listen to me first because don't directly jump to the conclusion. Okay, why actually Man City bought Pep Guardiola? I've said this thing so many times. Why? The reason is that okay, you gave them identity in the Premier League. I mean, to the Man City team, but that's what not just a one like a project. That was just one objective of project. The project was you have to put the domination of Man City in world football. You have to make them a consistent elite European force every season in Champions League or most of the big European stages, which he utterly failed. I mean, his tactics was flop. Okay, then his management wasn't even like on the spot. When he used to coach Man City in Champions League. So I think so. That's a failure with regards to European success. Let's talk about the league thing. I believe that his first season was failure as well, and his second season was huge success. And you have to give him credit for this.
How much did he spend? How much did he spend though?
No. I'm coming there. Okay. In his third season, he did it. I think so. He chased his title first time, and in the most impressive manner. So you have to again give him credit for that. This season, he flopped again, and I cannot see this Man City team, single-handedly, by putting all the eggs in one basket and win Champions League. Now, they're out of the question for the title race now. We know that who's going to win the Premier League. The only thing left.
Do we?
Yes.
So
yes.
you're ruling out. So you don't think that Liverpool can still choke?
No,
they have choked before. They have choked before, bro.
Brother, HH, this is like, come on, man. 14 points and Leicester City. We know that Man City is going to face Leicester at some point. So we know that, like, even Leicester is going to drop the points. Man City is not in title race now. Let's be honest over here. And let's talk with regarding his, philosophy and all this thing. Bro, what just Hazem said, his philosophy is limited. And, bro, there's a difference between a great manager and a great analyst. His analyst.
Yes.
The reason I'll tell you why he's great analyst. Bro, if you look his project, first he went to the Barcelona. He knew that, like people talk about the Pep Guardiola fanboys. Yeah, they talk, oh, he made that Barcelona team. He know the system. He know the Rijkaard system. He know the flipping batch of what do you call La Masia. He knows that this team
also
is really,
Cruyff gave him the platform. Cruyff gave him that platform.
I think so. Yeah,
but
but that's like back in '94. So I don't want to go like those in the early '90s era. But like I'll just talk regarding it after the Rijkaard era. So he knows that this team has certain players who establish stars. Okay. With his system, he improved the efficiency of the system, and at the end of the day, he dominated the football. Yes, okay, there was Messi, there was Xavi, there was Iniesta. Okay, but what happened now? Now, when you moved, you left the Barcelona Football Club, you left to Bayern Munich, okay, German football club. You analyzed the whole league. Oh, because I believe that in the league, so in most of the league, there's 18 teams to 20 teams. So out of that, if bottom three teams relegated and 3 new teams promoted, so that's the only work you have to do because you can analyze. You have enough data to crack the league. It's like a cracking the code, league. But when it's come to Champions League, we don't know
the big boy tournaments.
Yes, and the reason is that look, I'll tell you, because every year big European elite teams they try to by new players, they try to replace it. So the randomness of the tournament of Champions League is so difficult that this guy don't have enough record in his data. So at the end of the day, every time he flops. Okay, look what happened last season. I believe that Man City last season they have potential to reach final. I believe, but this guy choked. Come on, you have to blame Pep Guardiola, even though Aguero missed the penalty in the first leg. He didn't start so many stars. In the second leg, he benched Fernandinho. He started Kevin De Bruyne. Then he didn't start Sane. Like, I mean, come on, this guy had made so many, management errors, man. Come on, so many mistakes. So we cannot just, simply say that, oh, he's the greatest of all time. No, he's not the greatest of all time. He's
Of course.
yeah. And secondly, bro, there have been so many great managers. Okay, bro, tell me. I'll just give you one example. Before 2010, where was Real Madrid? Because I'm a Madrid fan, so I will give my club one of our example. Mourinho came into Real Madrid. He built.
He ran Pep out of town.
Yeah,
He ran Pep out of town.
yes, and he built a new system where people in the Champions League used to start fear Real Madrid as well, because Mourinho started that kind of fear mentality, putting fear of the of a team into the opposition hand. When did Pep did? Please, can you tell me? When was the last time Pep did that? Did he in Barcelona? Okay, that was only one team. Did he do with the Bayern Munich? People used to fear Bayern Munich before Pep Guardiola. Did he do with Man City? Who fears Man City in Champions League? Or tell me. Even last season, even season before that.
Tottenham.
Bro, yeah.
Tottenham beat them. No.
Yeah.
Actually, but wait. Let me just hit the super chats real quick, because there's something I want to just come in and just say. So thank you very much, Bunsa Fujiwara, for your $2 super chats. Ter Stegen, 2 assists. Hazard, 0 assists. Bunsa, thanks for that. But in response to that, Hazard, when Zad gets back to fitness, he is still tier 1. I know you hate it, and I know you don't like it, but Zad is still one of the best players in the world.
You mean when he loses weight? Is that what you mean?
Mane, thanks for that. But let me just make a quick point here, just a very quick point here. See, people like to view this as us hating or piling onto Pep and everything, but it's not. This is just straight facts. What is happening to Pep is karma. Ever since he opened his arrogant mouth and said that he destroyed football in that documentary, this is karma biting him in the ass.
No, but HH, come on. Don't hold double standards.
What I've always said is that you have been a benefit of situations. You've never managed. You've never ever managed. You've never managed a situation. You've never built up something. So it's just me being real. So, like Barcelona, I know you did well, coach, brought all that whole tiki-taka thing. You had the core of a team that's won 3 major trophies with Spain. Bayern Munich, you took over a treble-winning team, and you couldn't even make it to the Champions League final. Man City, how much money did you have to spend? 100% you did well to do domestically. Can't even get into a single Champions League semi-final. So when we look at this dude's resume, how good is this dude really? How good is this so-called GOAT really? What the hell has this guy actually achieved? He's not achieved anything.
No, come on. That's too far.
No, yeah, that's like a bit stretch. I believe that. No.
Okay, what has he achieved? No, please tell me what he achieved. Tell me what he has truly achieved. Please tell me.
Bro, I'm not a Pep Guardiola apologist over here, but what I'm trying to tell you that I mean, he improved the efficiency of the system on the Barcelona side. Okay, so you have to, at the end of the day, you have to give him some credit for that. It's not just okay. Like look what happened with the flipping Rijkaard. They were a good team, but like they wasn't playing as a unit, as a system. Okay, the way he built his system, and they started thriving to that system. So you have to give him credit for that system. Come on, like at the end of the day, I know that there are so many managers who are better than Pep Guardiola. Okay, in his overall career, but you have to give him credit for that.
But also, if it was Mourinho who had that 100-point season in the Premier League, we'd never hear the end of it. You would talk about, oh, Mourinho, man, he just.
No. I'm always very fair with Mourinho. I'm always very fair with Mourinho.
By the way, Mourinho spent 360 million for Man United to win nothing. So there you go. At least Pep spent 450 million, gives you two Premier League titles back to back. That is a return on investment. Mourinho.
No, but come on, that's different.
Sixth place. Oh yeah, but still the money is still the same. 360 million, 6th place. That's what Mourinho gets.
Well, no. Look, when Pep wins a Champions League with an Inter Milan, talk to me. Red, is your mic working there, Red?
Yeah, it's working. It's working. HH.
So Red, so basically the question here is Pep Guardiola a fraud? Did he lie to us with regards to him being a GOAT? Is he an inheritance merchant? Is he just a guy that is reliant on money and Lionel Messi?
Wait. How can we? First of all, he's not the GOAT. We got to get that out of the way because, one, how could you be the GOAT when your tactics are plagiarized off of Johan Cruyff, who's also plagiarized off of his manager?
Michels, yeah.
Yeah, like so you can't be the GOAT when your style's influenced by somebody else. That's one thing, and also your accomplishments. Though, look, Pep Guardiola is an elite manager. Like we have to accept that. Whether you call him the GOAT, he didn't destroy football, first of all. He didn't. Barca 2009 destroyed football, but that was also a whole team effort because you have to consider it was one part Messi, arguably the best player of his generation. It was one part Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets, and that spine of that Spanish team from 2008 to 2012. And it was one part Guardiola, which no doubt he had his own influence. He's a top manager, but again, when you say a GOAT, like you can't say he's the GOAT because let's look at his track record, right? In Spain, he three-peated, great job with Barcelona side. He won 2 Champions Leagues. Again, we have the asterisk of Messi and that Spanish team that we have to always put those there. Xavi, Iniesta, and Messi. We can't just simply write that off because these are winners with and without Pep. Because when you put those 3 La Liga titles into perspective, Barcelona have won 9 in the last 12, right? Since Pep Guardiola, they've won 9 in the last 12. Pep has only won 3 of those. So they've won 6 without Pep. They've won a treble without Pep. So can you really claim all of that for Pep? No, you can't. You can't give Pep sole credit for that. Let's move on to Bayern. Undoubtedly, great influence on Bayern. 3-peated also with Bayern. But again, when
took over Heinkes' team. That's mentioning your boy up.
He did. Of course, he took over Heinkes. He took over a great team. But the fact that he even took them to 3 league titles is commendable. But for Bayern, that's not Bayern's goal every year. Of course, they want to win the league title, but they want the Champions League. That's what you were brought for. And in the Champions League, you got knocked out by, let's say, you got knocked out by Real Madrid. Okay, that's acceptable. Even though you got knocked out like humiliating, like 4-0. But you got knocked out by Madrid. It's an acceptable team to lose to. You got knocked out by Barcelona. Acceptable. But against Atleti? Like, come on. Like, you can't get knocked out by Atletico Madrid. Regardless of how good Atleti were at the time or whatever, they're not. You can't get knocked out to Atletico Madrid in a Champions League semi. I'm sorry. And especially the fact that Madrid beat Atleti in that final, which he probably would have had a better chance than them. But the fact that he knocked out them, like that's a big loss. And then with City. Now, with City, this is his 4th season with City. He lost in his first season, and people can't be like, oh, it's his first season, give him an excuse. No, because it was Conte's first season, and Conte took over a team that was in 10th, and he won the league in his first season. So, no, Pep doesn't get that excuse. But he did go back-to-back, accumulating 198 points, which is a great accomplishment.
No, that is impressive.
But 3 quarterfinal exits, 2 inferior teams, aside from Liverpool. Liverpool's the only team that, again, it's fine. If you get knocked out to Liverpool, European giants, that happens. But when you get knocked out by Spurs that spent $0 that year, Spurs last season spent $0. Come on? Like how is that acceptable? How do you get knocked out by Monaco? Which people said at the time Falcao was finished. He got knocked out by Monaco. Not only that, he conceded like 6 goals to Monaco. Come on. That's not acceptable. Juve went on to play that same Monaco side, conceded 1 goal. 1. Yet Pep's team conceded 6. And you want to call him come on, we have to ask if you're saying this guy is one of the greats or is the GOAT or whatever. I'm not even comparing him to Mourinho. Let's keep the comparison aside. Let's just judge Pep's career as an individual. It's not the same. And I'm reading the comments. I see some people are saying Ferguson, he only won 2 UCLs. Yeah, but Ferguson rebuilt teams over and over again. Ferguson built a dynasty.
No, he took a squad. You guys, you have to give. Look. This isn't us hating on Pep, and I think I just want to be clear here because this may seem as if beating a dog when he's down. It's like Pep is down now.
No.
14 points behind. We're now sort of piling on him. I've had this Pep rhetoric all the way through. I've always said that he is, and I think the best way to put it is that he's a great coach. He'll always be a great coach. He improved Sterling. He helped to refine us and everything. Being a great coach doesn't mean you're a great manager. He's not a great manager. Pep cannot take a mid-table team or a team couldn't really win many major trophies like an Inter Milan and make them win. He could never win a Champions League with FC Porto. He could never win a Champions League with Inter Milan. He could never win a Champions League with Manchester United. It could never happen. He can only be part of big clubs who have big players and have a lot of money to spend. He can't get down in the
One
gutter
last
and
thing,
manage.
HH, I just want to round up my point on it, is that also look at Pep's biggest rival right now in the Prem, Klopp. Klopp came to Liverpool, right? It's his 5th year right now at Liverpool. He came to a Liverpool side that was mediocre at best. At best. Like, they didn't have world-class talent in that squad. What did Klopp do? He bought Sadio Mane, relatively unknown from Southampton, right? What does he turn him? He turns him into a world beater. Brought Mohamed Salah, which, to his credit, he was on the incline because Salah was like improving year after year, but he took him from a good player to a great player. He brought Firmino. Firmino was from Schalke, I believe, if I remember correctly. Also made him. Hoffenheim. My bad. Sorry. Thank you, guys. But the point is, like, he brought these relatively unknown players. Virgil van Dijk. Who knew about Virgil van Dijk 4 years ago? Nobody. He lost 7-0 with Celtic against Barca. I remember. That's the only time I remember Van Dijk. Aside from that. But Klopp converted all these players. Even on a lesser budget, he's been able to go neck to neck with Pep, and even last season won a Champions League over Pep. So how come people don't call Klopp the greatest?
No, but
how come nobody ever rates Klopp as much as they rate Pep? Klopp has always took on harder challenges and has overcome those challenges. He went back to back with Dortmund.
Okay, wait. So I mean, I think so. Hazard. I think you wanted the last one. Just have the last one, Hazard, before we move on to the next thing.
One last thing, that in the Champions League, this is why Pep keeps on failing the Champions League. They've learned his system, and the Champions League especially the Champions League is not something that system-based coaches usually win. If you look, the last time a system-based team won the Champions League was actually Pep, and that was because his team was substantially man for man better than anyone else when he had that Spanish core and Messi. So if you want to win the Champions League, you need to be a versatile manager, and that's why you've seen all these past years the coaches that have been winning the Champions League are not system-based. Di Matteo, Heynckes, Zidane, all balanced or versatile managers. And if Pep just keeps on sticking to the system, he's not going to win the Champions League.
Okay. So I want to now switch things up. I want to now talk about your boy, Mr. Sarri, man. The Sarri dude, man. The Sarri dude, man. The main thing now is that should this guy be sacked? That's the thing, because I'm hearing some desperate things right now. It ain't looking great. Even if Juve only 2 points behind Inter Milan. People are saying like this is like, oh my gosh, this is horrible. This is like disaster. Homeboys, you're only 2 points behind bloody Inter Milan. Relax. But let me just go off what I've been looking around in the online chatter and everything, which is the fact that they think that Sarri is a loser and everything else. Now, here's my take here. Sarri wasn't brought to win the Scudetto. He was brought to win the Champions League. Last I checked, Juve are pretty much through to the next round of the Champions League. So he is still on course to try and come to do what he was here to do. So let me come first to Ahmed then. So Ahmed, do you think that Sarri should be sacked and Juventus should maybe hire back Allegri or hire a different manager right now, or should he be given time to actually try and complete his mission, which is to win the Champions League, not the bloody Scudetto?
Firstly, I don't see Allegri coming back to the same Juve team. I think that bridge is done with Allegri. Secondly, with Juventus, we saw the same thing with Bayern Munich earlier this season. They were struggling in the league, but at the time of the manager sacking, they were still top of their Champions League group, but they still went through with the sacking. I think this is more about Juve's values as a club. The thing is, they're only 2 points behind Inter Milan, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 2 points is nothing. You beat Inter Milan at home. They're already closed that gap, so they shouldn't be worried about the league form. It's their first loss. Juve fans love to say they're undefeated in all competitions until the match against Lazio. So that's one loss all season. That's impressive that they went this long without losing. I think.
But just to add, I think when Juve fans will say no, it's not really about the stats of only one loss, it's the performances. So even if they've been winning games and everything, they've not been performing at
Results
a
are
high
results.
level.
Results are results. They're undefeated in the Champions League. They have one loss in the league. That's so far it's tremendous. They would have won every game of the league if it wasn't for Atletico's late equalizer in the home fixture. Other than that, everything is going well for Juventus. I think they should stick with Sarri. I mean, results are results. They're only 2 points behind an Inter Milan side who will drop points. That's inevitable for this Inter Milan team. Juve just need to keep doing what they're doing. They're more and more adapting to the system, and in the Champions League, everything is going fine for them so far.
So, before I move on to questions, so Ahmed, so do you believe Juventus will win the Serie A this season, and how far do they get in the Champions League?
I say they win the Serie A, and then the furthest I see them going is a semi, and that's being generous depending on who they face.
So you're saying semis max?
Yeah.
Okay. Mane, sorry. Should he be sacked?
I mean, no, it's too early, and he's only 2
Why
points
not?
behind.
Why? Wait, no. It's never too early to get sacked. Never too early to get sacked.
No, he shouldn't be sacked. And even then, who would they hire? That's the main question. Can you get
Exactly.
anyone better than him, really, at this point? So I think they're doing all right so far. I mean, they won against Atletico, which is a good sign, and they won.
Atletico, what?
It's a good
Atletico don't have any strikers, bro. Come on.
Still, it's a good team. It's a good team, even though they lost to Lazio. They won against Atalanta. You know, teams like they beat Milan as well. So I think that it's too early to sack him.
You had to mention that.
Wait until the Champions League. See how far he gets. But I don't know. You said that he was brought on to win the Champions League. That is a little bit of a shocking thing. How can you bring somebody who has no experience getting in round of 16 even? Actually, he might have had one or twice with Napoli, but still.
No. He won the Europa League. Okay, fair enough. That's why the Champions League. But he still won a European trophy. Wait. What the hell? He won a European trophy. Obviously combined with Zad. So with that experience, he was brought in to win the Champions League based on his European pedigree, winning a European trophy with Chelsea.
Oh my God!
Winning a Europa League against Arsenal.
Winning Mane.
It's not really.
Did you hear what I just said? Winning a European. Don't add the other stuff. We don't need to hear that. Winning a
That's
European
like saying winning
trophy.
an English trophy is a Carbo Cup.
So Mane, with winning a European trophy, he has the pedigree. So they brought him in because of his pedigree of winning a European trophy, which is what they want to win a Champions League.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't think he's gonna win the Champions League. I think Juventus Cristiano's finished, but that's for another story. But I don't think they're gonna win the Champions League.
Wait. Actually, wait. You said no. Don't just slide that in. You said Cristiano is finished. What?
Yeah, he's terrible. Like, have you seen him?
Mane, Mane, come what?
Mane is
terrible.
not
How dare
finished.
you?
Sarri is making Ronaldo finish.
I thought this was
Maurizio
that.
Sarri is making him.
Wait, no. Mane, Mane, clear this up.
Yeah.
Mane, why are you saying the GOAT Cristiano is finished? Please explain this point before we move on to the next person. Why are you saying that the GOAT is finished?
I mean, do you see how he's first of all, his timing is very bad. Like, he's getting chances in front of goal, he's missing it, not because he missed the shot or something. He's missing it because he can't get there quick enough, or his leg, he misses it with the leg, or plants his foot in the wrong way. Things like certain signs that are key to say that he should just retire. He's getting to that age, even though he has 7 goals or whatever. He just looks so bad. And I think, honestly, wait till the Champions League. You'll just see it'll be more and more obvious. He's going to embarrass himself talking about one of the best players in the world. I mean, come on. Be serious. He's finished, Juventus fans. 100 million for one season you paid for. And it was a decent season. But still, 100 million for one season. Somebody's finished now. All he does... And the other time, too, he was mad about getting substituted. Why are you mad? You're ass. Just being substituted. First of all, the manager goes deep against his will to substitute Cristiano because you know how he's big politically in the club, blah, blah, blah. He has a lot of power. So to see that Sarri chose to substitute him, that it just shows, man, he's done, man. He's done out here.
Wow. Okay, Liverpool everybody. Should Sarri be sacked? Is he bad news for Juventus? Okay. Hazem, should Sarri be sacked?
Yeah, first of all, I don't agree with the statement that Juventus signed Sarri to win the Champions League.
Of
No,
course
they
they did.
they
Okay,
didn't.
okay. Okay, why
No,
did they sign him? Just to
they
carry on
no, no,
winning the Serie A?
they signed Ronaldo to win the Champions League. They didn't sign Sarri to win the Champions League. Sa- Sarri they signed Sarri because they had huge pressure from the fans who were so angry of this boring Allegri system that they kept on watching. They said, "Okay, we've been winning the Serie A for ages, and now we're stuck with watching Allegri's boring football that are just scraping wins. So we want some attacking football." So the Juve management just got Sarri because they they knew that they've been with Allegri too long. Sarri is not a Champions League coach. Winning Europa League means nothing in that. It's like saying a team is signing a coach to win the league just because he won the Coppa Italia. Like it doesn't make sense. He won the Europa League. He did nothing in the Champions League. They signed a coach just for attacking football. They want to satisfy their fans with attacking football, and they think that Ronaldo is enough to win in the Champions League when it's just not true. Another thing, linking to my previous point, they signed a system-based manager to win the Champions League. As I said, it's not gonna work, and especially since the team that
So,
this
so, so, so
system.
saying Juve have no chance of winning the CL under Sarri. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Oh, 100%. Especially the team that they have is just it's nowhere near to the level that a system-based manager needs to win a Champions League. They have a midfield with Matuidi and Emre Can, and they're trying to play progressive football with Sarri. Are you kidding? Like they're
So,
the
so,
man.
so, so, so then it's not Sarri's fault. Basically, he doesn't have his players. If you're trying to get Cristiano to try and be technical, it's never going to happen. He's the one of the least technical players on the planet. So maybe he needs more
Yeah,
technical players in the team.
yeah, exactly. The way they've been spending is so weird. The midfield has been the problem for ages for events, and they never solve it. They just get these free transfers, these people who are not really that good. The whole time, the only time the person who's technical is Pjanic. That's it. The only technical in the midfielder. So they have no one there, and that's why they're not getting past round of 16 in the Champions League. And that I kept on saying that since the start of the season. They're not getting past round of 16. They're gonna win the league because in the league, Inter's just not ready. Inter's not ready for this type of pressure, and it's just 2 points. It's nothing. Let's be honest.
Okay.
They played well
Okay.
against Lazio, so it wasn't even that bad.
All
The
right.
red card cost them.
Abdullahi, Sarri. Should Sarri be sacked?
For me, I don't think it should be sacked. It should. This is his first season, so I think
Wait, why not? Why shouldn't he be sacked?
I think it needs to be given a little bit of time because for me, Sarri was not brought him to win the Scudetto, not to win the Champions League. It was only brought him because of the system, because of the way he plays. Sarri ball, Sarri ball, Sarri ball. Someone needs to tell me what is the definition of Sarri ball. I need to know what Sarri ball is because I have no idea. You sack a winning coach in Allegri, and you are hiring a coach who has been coaching for 25 years and never even won a trophy, except with the Europa League with Chelsea. Are you kidding me? Really?
What did Allegri achieve with Juventus? Two CL final losses, two Champions League final losses. Speak about that. No, wait, chill, wait, relax. Speak about the two Champions League final losses. Speak. What did this guy achieve? What did this guy achieve with Juventus?
It's normal. You could lose the Champions League. It's normal because
twice.
Yeah, it's normal.
It's Juventus.
Anybody could win the Champions League. Anybody could lose the Champions League. It's normal. We just have to keep building because every year we keep having different teams coming to Champions League. But Allegri carrying on the AC Milan team who has been like we don't even know where they are. He brought them in. He won the Scudetto with AC Milan. Then he left AC. He came to Juventus and also won the Scudetto. Now you're telling me because of his formation, you don't want to hire Massimo Allegri because of his formation. So he can't play an attacking football. You sack him. You now brought Sarri, someone who has been coaching for 25 years and still instead of philosophy. Same with Pep Guardiola. Both of them are fraud because they have the same tactics, the same formation. But what have they won? The only difference Guardiola has is because his tactics won in Premier League.
Wait. Okay. So Abdullah, you're not giving Sarri anything for winning that European trophy with Chelsea last season.
I'm not giving anything because
trophy.
You know the players who won the Champions League? Eden Hazard. That was the player who won the Champions League. Hazard. Because he's been one carrying Chelsea from the past how many years? From the last 7 to 8 years. He's the Chelsea main man. Anything Hazard. He's the one carrying Chelsea. That is the only one that won Maurizio Sarri the champ in the Europa League. No one won it. That was what Cristiano Ronaldo is struggling in Juventus now because of the tactics. When Allegri was there, Ronaldo scored 21 goals. He scored 21 goals and 8 assists in Juventus, and it was the Italian,
Okay.
it was the Italian best player.
They might as well get Emery.
So you're saying that Sarri should be sacked?
It's not Sarri. It will be given time. Let's see how far they can go. Let's see.
Okay. Red. Sorry, should he be sacked? Was this a bad fit for Juventus?
No, it just didn't make any sense. It's just a poor move by the Juventus' board. Like I don't get the process.
Okay, so should they have kept Allegri or got someone else?
Well, AJ, you tell me, because let's look at this, right? So you invest 100 million euros in a 34-year-old player because you want immediate results to get the Champions League, right?
Without Modric, Benzema,
without any of those players. But I guess their train of thought was like, we got to 2 Champions League finals before. Now we have a player that can get us over that line in the end. You know what I mean? Like in the final. So I can understand their train of thought there, right? But then you hire a manager that his system needs time to be implemented. You can't simply go from a defensive, pragmatic team to a all-out offensive team where they just don't have that. They really don't have those kind of players just yet. And if they do have those players, they still need time to adapt, because like most of this Juve team, Rabiot's new, Ramsey's new. These are just into a new league. Ronaldo is still relatively new. It's only his second season. Like, what's the process here? So I don't want to blame Sarri, because I don't think he should be sacked. Absolutely not, because like he only had 1 loss this entire season. He's still top of the group in the Champions League. He's only 2 points off Inter, which he's going to lose that league title anyways.
Please.
They could have had anybody.
Red money. They over money.
It's over. It's over. It's over. Scudetto Conte has already claimed that Scudetto. Let's just get that out of the way. It's not Sarri's fault. They could have anybody. Inter are winning the Scudetto. Anyways, let's push that aside. With Juve now, like I do have a lot of critiques towards Sarri, because he's not maximizing CR7. Like, you need to, like, if you have a player,
how do you maximize him then? So basically,
I'll tell you how. HH. I want you to watch the next Juve game and just notice the pattern. The ball always ends up on the left wing. In Juve's build-up, they always just go to the same direction. They never go to the right. They always go to the left wing. And all their chances created are coming from the left wing. Now, that's a problem. Why? Because Ronaldo's on the left wing. Now, for you to maximize Ronaldo's efforts, you have to do what similar to what Madrid do. Now, if you look at Madrid's numbers, like, Marcelo wasn't the one that was assisting Ronaldo the most. It was, what's it called? It was
even the ball in space. Don't give him the ball to the feet, man.
Pardon?
No. Because basically, my thing about Cristiano, obviously, I'll let you finish, right? But my thing about, because you make a very interesting point with maximizing Cristiano. When you look at Real Madrid, there was always a certain amount of speed and energy that they attacked with. And Cristiano was always in a forward-running motion whenever he had the ball. But when you look at Juventus, it's a bit more static. And don't give the ball to Cristiano on feet. He can't dribble.
Exactly.
He hasn't
that's why
somebody
you
in the
create
past
from the
five
right-hand
years.
side.
So.
You create from the right-hand side. Allow Ronaldo to drift in between the lines. And then that way it's harder for a defender to pick him up. Because he's either going to drag the right back with him, or the right back is going to have to hold this position. He goes in between the center backs, and that's where you'll get the best out of Ronaldo. Hence how he scored yesterday. How did he score against Lazio? He scored against Lazio because they created from the right-hand side. He was in his position. But instead, they're putting him on the left and then getting the ball to him on the left. Ronaldo can't dribble like that anymore. He doesn't have that, especially in low blocks where you're gonna have like 4 or 5 players in the box. Ronaldo's not gonna be able to do that. You really need to maximize Ronaldo's efforts. Sarri has to change his tactics a bit, because he doesn't have Hazard on the left wing that's just gonna get him the ball and he'll dribble and he'll create. Ronaldo's not that type of player. Ronaldo is a finisher. Especially this modern Ronaldo. I'm not talking about Ronaldo 4, 5, 6 years ago. I'm talking about 2019 Ronaldo is a finisher, and they're not giving him chances to finish. So Sarri does get criticism on that aspect, but again,
did you say he's a finisher or he's finished?
No, finisher.
Whoa.
Finisher. Keep saying Ronaldo's finished. Ronaldo's finished. Every year you guys say this, and then he pops up in the later half of the season, and everybody goes quiet again.
See, Red, what I'll say, no, very true. I'm not going to go as far as Mane to say that he's finished. I think that he's on the decline for sure.
Oh, that's a fact.
He's definitely on the. I mean, basically, like. Whereas Messi is still going from strength to strength, Cristiano is going on the way down. But even if he's declining and putting disaster classes, I will never bet against Cristiano
That-
scoring a big goal in a quarterfinal or a semi-final. That I'll never bet against. But basically, Red, man, chill. Red, round of your point.
To round it off, like I just think like with Sarri, he needs to be given a little bit more time. I think once they find out the chemistry and they find that certain like way of play, they'll start getting the results, the better results. It's just going to take some time. Again, the Juve board were very poor in planning this. I thought they should have given Allegri one more season. And one more point, HH, because you keep on mentioning this. HH, you got to give Allegri credit. First of all, in the 2 Champions League finals that he lost to the better teams that were much more stacked than his Juve side. And his second loss against Madrid, that wasn't his fault. Bonucci and Alves, they had a meltdown in the dressing room. And what are you going to do as a manager? Even if you try to tempt the moments, and even Alves,
as a manager, you have to have control of the dressing room.
No, but what if Alves, like what Alves did, he told the club to F off, and he was like, I wanted my contract canceled right now. I want to go to PSG, which is exactly what Alves did. He didn't give 2 Fs about Juve. He didn't care. He actually didn't care. And Bonucci, even like in Allegri, he does have a personality, because you know what Allegri did to Bonucci? He shipped him off to Milan that same summer. He shipped both those players out, both of them out of Milan, out of Juve. And also for the Serie A that you keep on not giving him credit for, I'll remind everybody: Inter won it 5 times in a row before Allegri. Allegri came, ended Inter's dominance, and then you had Juve's dominance.
No, wait, what? No, that was Conte.
That's Milan.
Yeah.
No. Inter Milan won 5 in a row. Then in 2000, from 2005 to 2010, 2006 to 2010, Inter Milan won the Scudetto every single year. 2011, Allegri won the Scudetto with Milan, and then from 2012 onwards, it was all Juve. But no, that
Even
one
2012, it should have been Allegri who won.
Well, yeah, because you guys had those dodgy decisions, like where there was like at least 6 penalties where Milan weren't called for. But either way, like Allegri did have an elite season with Milan. He is a proven. He's a top coach, and he doesn't get his credit. And again, like I said, it goes back to the Guardiola thing. When you lose to teams like Barca, Madrid, and you're Juve, like Juve's not on the same level as those 2 clubs, especially when they have Messi and Ronaldo. They're inferior teams. You expect to lose. You're the underdogs going into it. It's not like Guardiola losing to Atleti.
Yes.
All right. So let's bring in Muntaha into those. Guys, remember we've got 300 guys in here. Hit that like button. Smash that like button. Mods, get these guys to hit that like button. Hit that bloody like button. Muntaha, what say you? Sarri, should he be sacked? Is he a bad fit for Juventus? Has he already failed at Juve?
Bro, I'll be sweet and short over here because almost Red and you guys like explain the points. So my thing is, bro, like this guy Asri, his name is Asri because some of the members, who keep his name, it's not Maurizio Sarri, it's Maurizio Asri. Bro, Maurizio Asri, he tried to play a kind of football, okay, where this club has never played before since Stone Ages, bro. This club has never played this kind of football. Yes. Bro, you're giving it that kind of responsibility on this club who don't know, like, the ABCD of this kind of football, bro. Why you're making your thing difficult for you? Why? You know what? Yeah, bro, to be honest, bro, my Allegri, he get the best out of Ronaldo last season. He scored at least 30 goals, 29, 30 goals, right? Okay, what this Asri did? Tell me that. Okay, bro, and I hate you. You're talking about what Allegri did in Champions League. What Asri did in Champions League with Napoli? Don't tell me that Napoli team was weak. Come on, bro. He like, come on,
man. Give Sarri some credits, bro. Give him some credit, please. I'm begging you, please.
No, give Allegri credit.
No, bro. You're talking about credit, yeah. Every year, flipping Chelsea win, some other trophies, man. Every season, regardless they win FA Cup, EFL Cup, then Premier League, Europa League. So, bro. So even last season, Europa League, I don't think so. It goes to Sarri, man. I'm sorry, bro. This guy's like wasting his time, and you went this time and energy as well, bro. You know what? If he wants to win Champions League, now the league situation is difficult. I don't know which favorite he'll go for, man. Because Inter won't give up now that easily, bro. And like on Tuesday, if they want to deliberately lose, against Barcelona and get out of Champions League, to solely focus on league. Oh my God, that's next level task, man, for flipping Sarri. You know what? Stop with your all those trickeries and clown stuff, bro. By playing 1-2, playing 2 advancing midfielder. No, stop doing that. You know what? Play basic football, my friend. Play basic football. try to defend deep, in UA style, and then I can think,
Allegri style.
yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so are you saying
Probably
that
the season
Juventus?
is good now. Yeah.
So you're basically saying that Juve have no chance of winning the Champions League under Sarri?
Bro, like that's what I'm saying. Like unless Sarri is really stubborn and no, I'll play my Sarri ball system with holding cigarette in his hand and all those things, bro. If he does that stuff, bro, oh my god, round of 16 max for this team, bro. I'm sorry, bro, because Sarri have to take some decisions now. He has to play some basic football, my friend. You have to see the quality of players at some point or some time. You have to be realistic, bro. You cannot lie to yourself. No. I have peak Xavi, peak Iniesta. No. You can't lie to yourself. Let's be honest with you.
All right.
Yeah.
So, final thing it's up before we talk about Champions League preview. Leicester City. I don't believe in these guys to be the Premier League title challengers, but am I perhaps being stupid? Am I perhaps being false here? Because these dudes refuse to flipping lose. These dudes keep on playing. These dudes keep on rolling through. And Vardy is having an exceptional season. I am shocked with how many goals that Jamie Vardy is doing. And because for me, I still believe that Liverpool are going to choke. I believe that Liverpool are going to choke. But by me saying that Liverpool are going to choke, that means that we are probably going to see that. Because if Leicester City win this flipping title, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know how I'm going to roll through. So let's start first with Ahmed. Then, should we be taking Leicester City much more seriously with regards to being title challengers for Liverpool, or will Liverpool run away with it by themselves?
I mean, we have to respect what Brendan Rodgers is doing. We have to respect what Leicester City are doing. We do. They're ahead of Man City. They're ahead of Chelsea. They're ahead of United in the league. They're ahead of all these teams. And right now, we have to accept they're the closest challenge to Liverpool. Leicester are 6 points clear of City. Let that sink in. They're 6 points clear of Oil Money FC. So, City being, even though
Leicester
Leicester
City last, though, that's the thing. Do you think Leicester City will last? This momentum will last?
I don't see. Even if Leicester City do continue going on the path they're going on, right now they have 2 losses in the league already and 2 draws. Liverpool aren't losing. Liverpool are 8 points clear of Leicester, despite Leicester's brilliant form. Despite Jamie Vardy scoring like Messi, they're still 8 points behind Liverpool. I don't see Leicester being able to cut the gap. What I do see is Leicester being able to hold on to second. They play City in a week or 2.
Oh,
they beat
so
City
you think
there,
that the Leicester remain second?
I'm saying it's very possible. I
Wow.
mean, Jamie Vardy's been banging in goals like never before, and they play City in a week or 2 with the form City's on. They'll be 9 points clear of second. 9 points clear of third place if they beat City.
So, Jamie Vardy, where would you rank Jamie Vardy right now with regards to the best strikers in the world?
I mean, on form, who's better?
Benzema,
Lewandowski's good. Benzema's good. Yes, they're playing well, but on form in the last few games, Jamie Vardy has to take being the best striker into account. I just want to say, if by some miracle Leicester City win the Premier League title again, that's a bigger accomplishment than Sarri winning the Europa League. I just want to make that clear, because for some reason you seem to think that Sarri winning the Europa League is a major achievement. You only think that because Hazard won it.
Based on the pressure and the hate it was under. That's what it was a huge win, massive win.
You don't give Diego Simeone the same credit for winning it. The only reason you give him credit is because it was Chelsea and because it was Hazard.
Zad. So you feel that Leicester City May next year will come second behind Liverpool?
Yeah, it's possible. Okay. It's very possible. It's a realistic possibility.
Mane, how do you see this going? Leicester City, will they last all the way, or will your overpaid losers actually get their act together and make this somewhat of a title challenge with Liverpool?
I mean, let's be honest, guys. Liverpool have won the league. I mean,
Have not no, they haven't, bro. They
listen,
haven't, bro. They haven't won anything.
Angelino is starting left back for Manchester. That is over just by that. And Davidson,
That guy's trash, man.
yeah,
That dude is trash. But see, he looks trash and he plays trash. But there you go.
he's ass. And I think Leicester might have a chance at top four, but they're not going to challenge Liverpool. If anything, they'll do well to finish top four, even top five. The other teams, I think it's going to be Liverpool who's going to win the title. Man City might be second or fourth. It doesn't. They'll be top four, but I don't know where for now. I think Tottenham's going to come back. They're very good today. They're looking very, very solid. Harry Kane, amazing strike, best striker in the world.
According to you, don't just use that as like a qualifying statement. According to you, he's the best striker in the world. According to you,
the best finisher in the world in terms of striking. Like
has he ever done it in a final? Has Harry Kane ever scored in a final?
listen,
Has he ever scored in a final? Ever?
has Lewandowski ever scored in the final? That doesn't stop you from
No. Mane, I didn't bring the Bernanke. I said, has Harry Kane ever scored in a final? The answer is no. Carry on.
No other striker other than Benzema, but he's whatever. Anyway, he's Harry Kane and Tottenham and Son especially brilliant goal. I think they're gonna come back and finish top four for sure, just because of Mourinho. Is you can always tell based on the team. Like Tottenham were really underperforming. That's why they sacked Pochettino because they were massively underperforming. I think they have probably the second best squad in the league after Liverpool. I would say currently. And I think I'm gonna give Man United too. Man United will get in there. I think Chelsea will miss out of the current teams because Chelsea they're one injury away. If Tammy Abraham gets injured, they're pretty much done for. And you see how they lost embarrassingly to Everton. Everton completely dominated them and created so many chances.
Relax, man. Relax. Just relax. Chill.
Created so many chances. So I think Chelsea will drop off. It's just one injury away. Batshuayi is not a good enough striker to be scoring week in, week out. So it's just a matter of time before Tammy Abraham gets injured. So for my teams, Liverpool, Man City, Tottenham, Man United. And by the way, Rashford, man, the kid is special. He's better than Mbappe. And people need to give him
Mane, why would you say that? Why would you say that's crap?
Give him the credit he deserves.
Nobody is touching. No. Okay, Mane, why can't we give Rashford the credit but say that he's not in Mbappe's stratosphere? Mbappe is on a different level to Rashford. Rashford will never be on Mbappe's level. Just accept the fact. Come on, bro. What the hell?
A level below. Mbappe can't even finish as good as Rashford. Even though Rashford should have scored one or two chances today, he should have had a hat trick, really. But Mbappe is, to be honest, he's just a pace merchant. Once he loses that pace in 2-3 years or one injury away, you'll see he's nothing more than French Theo Walcott, as Juju said once. But that's honestly how I see it, and I don't think it'll adjust itself. But yeah.
Okay. So before I just move on here. So thank you for the super chat here, Gatlock, who says so Gatlock's top four is Liverpool, Man City, Leicester, Tottenham. For me, I'm still gonna ride with Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham. That's my top four there. But no, Leicester are looking good, man. Leicester are looking good. I'll give it that. But bro, I just think that they're more twists and turns. Abdullahi, Leicester City, are they gonna ride all the way with Liverpool to the end of the season?
No, I don't think so. Because I think as time goes on, they're still gonna drop a lot of points. So I don't think they're gonna even ride because they're already 8 points ahead of Liverpool. They haven't lost.
Abdullahi, they keep winning, bro. They keep winning.
They'll keep winning. They'll keep winning. It's normal, but they're still gonna a lot of blip in the floor on the road. Those teams they beat in the first half of the season, second half of the season, they're gonna come for a revenge. They're gonna beat them back. So EPL is twisted. You can't just say you win the first match, you're gonna win the second match at home. It's gonna be difficult. So now they're on a good form now. Now they're on a two-way. If Jamie Vardy is not the best player in that Leicester City. Wilfred Ndidi is the key man. If anybody want to beat Leicester City, take out Wilfred Ndidi. You beat.
He's that dude, man. Indeed, is that dude. He's that dude.
That is the man that is keeping Leicester keep winning. Wilfred Ndidi is that man keeping Leicester City winning matches because he's the glue that glue those defenses.
Iheanacho, man. Iheanacho. Kelechi is also getting
is
those
doing
juices.
well. But Wilfred Ndidi is the one. Is the key. It's like Kante of Chelsea. He's the one gluing that Leicester City together. Everybody knows in that Leicester. Even Jamie Vardy said it. Brendan Yunda said it. He said Ndidi is the one keeping them playing together as a team because he understands the system. He knows what they want. If Jamie Vardy gets injured, if they're putting Kelechi in it, they will keep winning. If Wilfred Ndidi gets injured, that Leicester City is gonna collapse. That is the man keeping them together. That is the man.
So where do Leicester City finish this season? Tell me, where do they finish this season?
Second. I can see them finishing
What?
second.
Second? Ahead of Man City?
Second at Man City. Who the hell is Man City?
Yeah, two top back-to-back champions.
For me, Guardiola is fraud already. I don't even talk about Man City. Fraud. That man is a bastard fraud. I don't want to talk about it.
What did he do to you, man? What did he do to you?
Mbappe's gonna choke 14 clear points.
It's like he burned down your house.
The league is already done. By February, there should become Premier League champion. I don't care. By February, there should become Premier League champion because the league is already over. It's done. Completely done. Man City, you want to tell me Liverpool's gonna choke 14 points?
Okay. We'll see. All right, we'll see. All right, so before I go to Redman, two super chats here from Original Base Annie. Thank you. Can I get a shout out for my birthday? Happy birthday, Mr. Original Base Annie. Happy birthday, man. So, guys, let's just all wish Original Base Annie a happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday, Annie, bro. Happy birthday.
Yo, happy birthday, Annie, my boy.
Cool,
Happy
man.
birthday.
All right, Red. Leicester City. Where do you see them finishing this season?
They're gonna be probably 5th, 6th.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah. No, they're. I agree with everything Abdullah said. Like, there's gonna be a comeback leg. Like those wins that you got, like people are gonna catch you at home. Even though they are winning away, they're pretty impressive away. But still, like I expect them to lose to Liverpool on Boxing Day. I think they're gonna lose to Chelsea as well. They're gonna lose to United. They're gonna still lose to a lot of teams. So yeah, no, they're gonna drop off. I think Chelsea will be in the top 4. Chelsea, Spurs is gonna be in the top 4. It's gonna be Liverpool, City, Spurs, Chelsea. That's my top 4 prediction.
Okay. So before I go to Muntar, let me just read some of these comments here. So Ken says, Ndidi is that guy, cannot lie. Madison and Tillemans are nice. Liverpool is going to win Eurovision with their new song. What the hell? Ndidi better than McTominay. Of course, McTominay is good, but Ndidi is better than McTominay. What else? Madison is the next Lampard. I think Madison is different from Lampard. He's different from Lampard. So I don't think that they're like the same kind of thing, man. Man City will destroy Leicester in 2 weeks' time, and that's them out of the title race. Bro, that's going to be a huge game. So, Muntar, Leicester City, how far do you see them going?
Bro, forget about Leicester City, bro. I believe that like Liverpool, like which team have a capability to beat Liverpool right now in Premier League? Please tell me. I cannot rely on Leicester City. Let's be honest over here, man. These guys are pretenders. They are. I know Jamie Ward in the red hot form. I guess he scored 16 goals in 16 games and all those things.
He's scoring a lot of goals, bro.
Yeah.
You have to put some respect on his name.
Yeah, but I believe that. Yeah, I'm giving him respect. You know, but he deserved that, to be honest. But I think so. It's easy, you know, for the big teams, you know, with the like I believe that in the future, or like, you know, if they play Spurs or even Liverpool, I mean, I think so they can stop, you know, Jamie Vardy from scoring, and, you know, by marking him for the 90 minutes, and that might be game over for Leicester. I don't think so it's going to be that good. And for the top 4, it's still difficult for me for us. Leicester City, I still believe that Man City can come back, not in terms of winning.
You think City can come 14 points?
I'll say that outside they will reduce from 14 to 6-7 points by the end of the season, but they're not going to win the league. But they're going to finish second, and then it's going to be, you know, for the top 4 battle is going to be so hard. I mean, the Spurs is there, Man United is there. I believe Man United can give tough time as well. Then you have Chelsea. Chelsea is right now in the rough patch, you know, because I believe that Chelsea should have seen this kind of experience, you know, at the start of the season. But now again, they're facing this kind of thing, you know, because they're losing back-to-back games. They lost 3-4 games, I believe, in 1 month or something like that. So I think so they will improve. They will redeem themselves, you know, from this kind of poor performances against Everton as well. So yeah, man, I cannot see Leicester City winning the Premier League. Yeah, it's done and dusted, bro.
Okay. So let's just run. So Champions League final round is coming up this week. So let's just start big, man. Let's start big. Let's not even waste time. Who here does not believe Chelsea will end up in the Champions League knockout stage? So everyone believes that
It's not a-
Chelsea
it's not-
will make it through.
It's not a guarantee, HH,
I
especially with the
hope-
way they're playing right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's guaranteed. It's just about the defense to be fixed. That's the problem. We're playing very well. It's just the defense. That's it.
Oh,
A draw-
okay, so let's go. Okay, so let's start first. Ahmed. So Ahmed, Valencia, Chelsea, Ajax. If you had to pick two teams, not maybe this or that, two teams to go through. Which two teams go through between Ajax, Chelsea, and Valencia?
Ajax Valencia.
Okay, Ahmed. Now, why you say that? Why?
Here's the reason. Ajax 10 points. Valencia and Chelsea are on the same points.
Yes.
Valencia being ahead of them on head-to-head
Okay.
for the Champions League. Now, scenario 1, both games end in a draw. Valencia and Ajax go through. Scenario
So
2,
you said Chelsea can't beat Lille at the bridge. Lille who have 1 point at the bridge.
it's a strong possibility with the way Chelsea are playing right now. Losing to West Ham, losing to Everton. It's a very, very strong realistic possibility that Ajax and Valencia going through. At the beginning of the season, I said Chelsea would go through, and I still have that prediction on my Twitter. It's pinned, but it's looking tough at the current moment for Chelsea.
So you really believe that Chelsea are going to end up in the Europa League? Is that what you're trying to tell me? I mean, did you listen to my semis minimum thing, or were you asleep when I said semis minimum?
Unfortunately, I wasn't asleep.
Well, we shall see what happens. But Ahmed, for your sake, Chelsea better not end up in the Europa League. Abdullahi, are the boys going to do it? I need this to be real. Just be fully real.
Yeah,
Are the boys going to do it?
I'm real. We'll go to. I'm confident we'll go to. It's been very tough for us as a Chelsea fan. Everybody knows. So I'm slightly a little bit. I'm worried. A little bit. I'm not worried. The defense. The problem with Chelsea this season is it's not about attacking. It's not about the midfielder. It's about defense. It's about communication. That defense needs leadership. Zuma, Christensen, no leadership. I'm waiting for Antonio Rudiger to be back. That is the leadership I want. That guy is the leadership I want. And
No, he's needed. He's needed.
Lampard already said already he's gonna be fit to play the Champions League against Lille.
And he should be captain. Rudiger should be captain.
Instead, it's gonna be the one that's gonna be playing against Lille. So I'm waiting for him to face 1-on-1 with this Nigerian guy.
So basically, I'm like, give me the scorelines for both games. Give me the Valencia Ajax score and give me the Chelsea Lille score. What would scorelines of both games be?
Ajax are good at home, so I'll go straight win for Ajax. Straight win for Ajax, and for Chelsea, I won't lie to you, the Blake. We may concede, so I'm going either 2-1 or 3-2 for Chelsea.
Wow, 3-2. That's close. Okay.
Wow, because we're gonna concede, and Chelsea is Chelsea. Unless
Okay.
if Rudiger is fit, I could say 2-0. If Rudiger is fully fit to play, but if I'm seeing Tomori and Zuma, man, we're gonna concede, man, 2-1 or 3-2. But if
Okay.
Rudiger is fit, man. Rudiger is fit. Maybe
All right. Mane. Who goes through? And also, Mane, don't be clever and say Chelsea Europa League. Just be honest. Just be real honest. Don't try and be clever.
Yeah, hopefully Chelsea goes through. You know, we want to see more English teams, but I think even round of 16
Oh,
is gonna
God.
get annihilated either way. So it's just we're deciding who's going to play one extra game. That's all we're deciding. So either way is fine. But I think Chelsea is going to win this Lille. Lille is just terrible. So, and I think, they'll definitely win. So they'll definitely go through because it's Lille. I mean, come on, let's be honest. 1 point in the group. Of course they're going to win.
Bro, if Chelsea must be against Lille, man, screw it, man. Hazem, who goes through?
Yeah, so I think Chelsea is going to draw against Lille. Lille are in quite good form. They beat Lyon last week, so the form is looking good. But I think Ajax will beat Valencia, so Chelsea will go through. based on that point of the draw. And yeah, but I don't think Chelsea's going very far in this tournament. I would
Semis.
say I would say quarterfinals max.
Okay.
Quarters.
Red. Who goes through red?
It's going to be Ajax and Chelsea because Chelsea are playing at home and are pretty much guaranteed 3 points against Lille, a team who it's their first Champions League ever. They have 1 point. And that 1 point is against Valencia, who's going to be up against Ajax, a very good Ajax side. Last year's semifinalists. Yes, they lost a couple of players, but they're still very strong. Not to mention their play style. It's very good against Valencia, obviously seen from Barca when Barca beat them 5-0 earlier this season. Yeah, I think Ajax will dispose of Valencia, and Chelsea will beat Lille, and then just go second. It's not even. This is really a non-story. I don't even know how people actually believe that Valencia will be ahead of Chelsea.
Like, no. Some people said it on the Hangout yesterday. So there you go. All right, Muntaha, who goes through?
Bro, I'm getting this kind of feeling. It's just my intuitions here because I know it's not a sensible opinion. Which
Muntaha, don't say. Please don't. Don't do it.
Yeah. Okay, bro. But if you see, recent Valencia games, okay, they played good. I know against Chelsea they were like, oh my god, horrendous. They were missing sitters. I know that. But if you see the league game and if you see Valencia campaign right now, okay, it's pretty much not that easy for them to make top 4 this season in La Liga. I know they're in 7th spot, and there's been so many better teams than them, in La Liga. So they have to qualify to the round of 16, at least, to get something out of the current team.
Montaha, sorry, but Valencia also play Real Madrid this week.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Secondly, okay, if you see that, bro, it's pretty much like it's not that easy for Valencia, Red, to qualify right now for top 4. Even Atletico Madrid is not in top 4. They drew and they lost, so it's difficult for them to make top 4, I believe, this season. So I can see that. Okay, Valencia is a good team, but I can see that Valencia beating Ajax. And one more thing, Ajax is like they literally don't perform that good when they play at their in their home ground, I believe, because you have seen so many times, Chelsea have beaten them. Then even last season Spurs did them, so they're not like, fearlessly they cannot play, at their home ground, I believe. There's some kind of mental pressure for them, I believe. So I think so Ajax is going to lose that game, and Chelsea is going to win the game against Lille by a 2-1 or 2-0. And I think so Valencia and Chelsea is going through.
Wow. Okay. So let's round up with this, man. Inter Milan and flipping Dortmund. Both teams can go through. Well, both teams have very interesting games. Obviously, my previews are going to drop on Monday, and this is one that I've really got to think about because I don't know, man. I don't know. So let me come first to Abdullahi, man. So Abdullahi, how do you view this, man? Who's going to come through in this game? So who goes through, Inter Milan or Dortmund?
I think Barcelona already qualified already.
Yeah, they've already qualified.
For me, I still don't want Borussia Dortmund. I don't want Dortmund yet. I don't want Dortmund.
They're playing Slavia Prague.
Yeah. Slavia Prague is very difficult to beat at home. At home, they are very difficult to beat. Look at what they did to Barcelona at Camp Nou. You remember what they did to them at Camp Nou? Those teams are difficult to beat at home.
They beat
at
Inter.
Home, you cannot beat Slavia Prague is very difficult to beat. A very difficult team to beat at home. Like a beast. Like when you are going to Anfield now, it's gonna be difficult for you to beat Liverpool at Anfield. Just like that. That's Slavia Prague for you. Dortmund, I'm kind of 50-50 about Dortmund. They are being in real good form, but it's gonna be difficult. If Slavia Prague go toe-to-toe with Dortmund, man, it's gonna be 50-50, man. But it not depends because Dortmund doesn't have any defense. They play open-minded football, and also Slavia Prague also play an aggressive football too. So I see Inter Milan, Barcelona qualifying.
Inter and Barca. Wow. Okay. Ahmed.
Well, here's the thing we have to take into account. Firstly, Barca and Slavia Prague both have nothing to play. They've both already Barca have topped the group, and Slavia Prague won't be in the Europa League. So the thing right now is goal difference, because Barca won't play their first team against Inter Milan, most likely.
It's head-to-head.
Head-to-head, Inter Milan is ahead of Dortmund head-to-head. Am I correct? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. Right.
So assuming both win, because Dortmund play at home, Inter play at home, Barca won't
Yeah.
play that strong of
No,
a team.
Dortmund play away.
No,
Dortmund
at
play
home.
away.
Dortmund are at
Yeah.
home.
Yeah,
At home.
Dortmund are at home. So as long as if they both match each other in terms of results, then Inter go through.
Yeah, Inter go
And
through.
Inter should be able to beat Barca at home. I mean, this is going to be a big game. Messi might not even play. I mean, so many Barca players won't be playing because remember this weekend they have the
But do you
Sociedad
trust
game.
Inter to get it done, even without Messi? Do you trust them to get it done at home at the San Siro with the pressure on them?
I would have to see the Barca squad, what squad Barcelona are going to play with. I think that's going to be what decides this game. If Barca play a first team, then I think Dortmund go through. If Barca rests a lot of their first team, then I think Inter Milan go through.
Okay. Hazem, who comes through this?
Look, I'm sticking with my thing that Dortmund's gonna go through and not Inter. And I think Barcelona is gonna try and play their first team on purpose. They don't like Inter Milan. They're not gonna
What?
do them.
Wait, what did Inter ever do to them?
No, it's
2010. So you think that they still
2010,
hit?
yeah. 2010, and we saw the results of that last season when Inter needed Barcelona to beat Tottenham, and they didn't. They drew. They played a pretty good game. So I as an Inter fan, you wouldn't trust Barcelona, and I would say Barcelona would actually try and go out and win this game. So also Inter, Sensi and Barella are injured, so their midfield is nothing. It's just Brozovic, and they're playing Borja Valero and Vecino, who are just not good enough. So I would say Barcelona win that game. I would say also Conte in Champions League. I can't trust him. Sorry, I can't trust him to get out the group. They bottled it in the last game last season against PSV. All they had to do was beat PSV, and they were through. And Tottenham wouldn't be in the Champions League final. And they didn't. They drew against PSV. So now it seems simple that all they have to do is beat Barcelona, or hope that Dortmund lose or draw. But all they have to do, in theory, is beat Barcelona, and they won't. They won't. They will draw. In my opinion, it's going to be a draw, and Dortmund will beat Slavia Prague. They're playing at home in Signal Iduna Park.
So you're saying Dortmund will go through?
Yes, Dortmund's going to go through. Also, Conte, I don't think he cares about the Champions League that much. He cares more about the league. And
Okay.
that's how it is.
All right. Mane, who goes through?
I think Dortmund concedes more goals, so Inter will go through.
What? Wait, so Dortmund are going to lose to Slavia Prague, or?
Oh, Inter play, but yeah, I still have faith in Inter. But I think, let me see. I mean, theoretically, on paper, Dortmund should go through, but I'm gonna still go with Inter just because I think Barcelona might not try as hard, even though they've already qualified and all. They might play reserve players as substitutes or whatever. But I think Dortmund should go through based on their position, but I'm still gonna go with Inter.
Okay. Red.
Yeah, there's hopefully Conte lives up to his reputation and gets knocked out and sticks to the league. Because if you're an Inter Milan fan, why would you even care about the Champions League? Win the Serie A.
No.
Yeah,
Red. It's not what you want for your own agenda.
That's not what I want.
What do you
I
think
thought-
will happen? I don't care about
No,
your
it's
agenda.
not.
Red.
It's
He's
not
right.
going to happen. It's impossible. That's why Conte his best. The only play he has is to get out of the Champions League. Because here's the situation he's in.
Yep.
He has to play a Barca side that they're going to be resting probably for the El Clasico that's going to be coming. They're going to rest some players, but they're going to be auditioning a lot of players that want to get more minutes, and they're going to really want to win and get a result. They're not the type of club that goes out to lose. They always go out to win. Barca never fold on that. So that Barca are going to win against Inter. Inter they're not. I don't think even if they beat Barca, I think that Dortmund are going to beat Slavia Prague even worse because Slavia Prague have nothing to play for. Not even Europa. nothing. Like, so why would they? I mean, I guess for like a show, but like I think Dortmund at full strength will beat Slavia Prague. So
Okay.
yeah, so like it's impossible for Inter either way. So and aside from that,
So,
they're top of the league right
so who are you saying is going to go through, Dortmund or Inter Milan?
No, Dortmund.
Dortmund. Okay. Munsar, who goes through?
Yeah.
Bro, this is a tricky situation. People are slipping on Inter Milan. I'll tell you why. Why it's a tricky situation. Because Barcelona have to play El Clasico on 18th of December. And before that, before El Clasico, 3 or 4 days before, they are playing right now. I mean, even after like after camp now this season, most toughest ground. They have to travel to Real Sociedad. And that team to play away because they cannot drop points in La Liga now. So it's so tight schedule for them as well, for us as well. And the team Real Sociedad they are going to play. I'm sorry, man. I think so. Barcelona will rest the big stars. On top of that, Jordi Alba is injured, I believe. Then Semedo is injured. So, I mean, so the backup left back, right backs is Roberto and Junior Firpo. And I believe they played this week as well. So it's going to be so difficult for Barcelona. I think so. Barcelona will start with the B team. I cannot see them. I cannot see Messi starting this game. I don't like. I think they will rest. I mean Suarez and might be Griezmann start ahead of Suarez, okay, because they will bench Suarez and Ousmane Dembele is injured as well. So I think so. Even like Inter Milan have a chance. They can beat Barcelona. I think so. They will bench PK as well or Longley. Any one of the defender they'll bring back Umtiti, but Umtiti is like rusty. And then they have to give rest to Busquets as well because, like, I mean, bro, they have to make some big changes for this game because if they play their first 11 this game for the Real Sociedad away, they are playing, so they'll be exhausted every time they go there. You know, most of the time, I'm sorry, you know, they come with a disappointment from that place, and it's so and right now Real Sociedad is like top 4 team, and they are literally fighting for top 3 spots.
So who's making it through then? So you're saying Inter are going to do it then?
Possible. I think so. Inter Milan is winning this game by 2-0 or 1-0, something like that. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So actually, last thing, let me just hit the super chat then. There's one thing I wanted to talk about. So Julian N says HH Ter Stegen said he will try his best to help us. Interesting. So remember, Ter Stegen is German. So maybe Ter Stegen is now going to become Superman and actually really come and actually do those crazy saves. So maybe Stegen will say to his Barca teammates that, guys, let's try and take this seriously because that is only fair. We have to be professional.
2010.
Yeah. You know, so last news thing before we go, I was reading something. This may be a rumor, but you all know that the January transfer window is coming through and it's on its way. So we'll get people's take on this and then we will be out of here. A swap deal is apparently rumored to happen. And the swap deal is between United and Real Madrid. Bale to Man United, Pogba to Real Madrid. So, let me start first with Abdullahi. If that swap deal was to happen, would it benefit both? Would it benefit just one team, or would it benefit neither team? That swap deal. Pogba to Real Madrid, Bale to Man United, because I know what I believe.
With that rumor, I'm not really sure how true the rumor is. But if the rumor is really true, I think Pogba is going to benefit Real Madrid because he's the kind of caliber of player they want in that midfield. They need a creative, box-to-box player who can run from one midfield and that midfield, who can link on play, give Hazard that ball, Benzema, those players who can. That's kind of midfield they need. This kind of runner, someone like Kante, this is the kind of player they need. They can run. And for Gareth Bale is an injured player. And for the kind of ways United are playing now, Daniel James, Marcus Rashford, and Antonio Martial in the front. Where will Gareth Bale play? Who is going to be put on the bench? Who? Because Rashford is on form. Daniel James is in form. So who do Gareth Bale want to bench? Who do you want to bench? I have no idea. Who do you want to put on bench? I don't know.
Obviously, Daniel
United
James
should not be stupid and let Pogba go on free and go to Real Madrid.
Wait. So saying that Bale can't bench Daniel James or Rashford?
They can't bench because that guy is in form.
What?
If Bale, tell me if Bale bench Daniel James now and he's not performing, people will blame Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Why are you starting Bale and you are putting an informed player on the bench? Because Daniel James is playing very, very well. is creating a lot for Rashford and for Martial. It's
Yeah, but
playing very, very
yo,
well. It's
Abdullahi, but
really good.
Daniel
It's
James
playing
can
very,
play
very well.
right wing,
So where will he
bro.
play? Is he gonna
Abdullahi,
who is he gonna put on bench? And we
no,
Wait,
must
wait, wait,
remember
wait, wait, wait. Let Abdullah cross me. Everyone will get the chance to talk. So, Abdullah, just round off your point. So, you're saying that Pogba would improve Real Madrid, Bill
yeah,
wouldn't even
because
start for Man
he's kind
United.
of player. He's kind of player Real Madrid need. That kind of player Real Madrid box to box player. Those are the players Real Madrid need. Gareth, Paul Pogba. The kind of player they want and they need. That's the kind of player.
So just so you're saying Bill won't start for United.
Boy will not start. I'm sorry. We cannot form Daniel James.
So you're saying Daniel James is benching Bill. Now
I'm sorry.
so Daniel James is benching a 2-time Champions League winner. That's interesting.
No. Bale is an injury player. Double. We need to know that he's an injury player.
I'm saying okay. Let's say okay. Let's say that he's fully fit. He still benches him if he's fully fit.
If he's fully fit, then I see him starting the match. I see him benching that Daniel James. But I can't trust Bale because he's an injury player. It's not that fully fit yet. It's an injury player. So that's why I say Ole won't trust Gareth Bale too much. And look at this age, he's 20.
Okay. All right. Okay. Ahmed.
Will
Wait, Abdullah, you've talked. We have to move on. Muhammad, thank you. Move on. We're moving on. Ahmed.
He's the one that
so Ahmed.
Not the board. Tell the board I want this player and they're putting for you.
Hey, is this man still talking?
Daniel James or less than trusting Gareth Bale. I don't think he's gonna put Gareth Bale on starting 11.
Let's just wait until he finishes.
I don't think Ole can do that. I'm not sure. He can't.
Are you finished, Abdullah? Are you finished? Okay, I think it's finished. Okay. All right. Ahmed.
I'm done.
Okay. I still think it's wild what you said about Daniel James. That's wild. Ahmed. Who does this swap deal benefit?
I think it benefits Real Madrid a lot more. I mean, let's remember the age that Gareth Bale is at. I mean, how many good years are they going to get out of him? How many does he have left compared to Paul Pogba? I mean, United should never accept this deal unless there's also added money, because Bale to Pogba in 2019 doesn't cut it for United. I mean, he's old.
So you're saying that Bale, let's just say Bale is fully fit. United shouldn't consider getting Bale in that team to help us Rashford and Martial. You still wouldn't take it.
They have to have some added cash because Paul Pogba is 26. Gareth Bale's aging, and not to mention, even if he's fit now, he'll trip over air and he'll be injured in 2 weeks. Like it's Gareth Bale we're talking about. And Real Madrid would benefit from getting the controversy out of their locker room. They benefit from getting a player like Paul Pogba to add to their midfield. And they'll benefit in so many ways. While Manchester United...
Wait, Gareth Bale is only 30. Gareth Bale is only 30. He turns 31.
But he's injury prone.
July.
He's injury prone, bro. One more injury, he's basically 36.
That's old.
Especially for a player like him.
So you're saying that it's a good deal for Real Madrid, but a bad deal for Man United?
Yeah, and I don't see it happening. I don't see Bale going to United.
Okay. Because I'm leaving the Madrid boys till last. So let's roll over to Hazem now. So Hazem, should this deal go through?
Yes.
And who does it benefit?
First of all, can someone explain what's going on with Pogba, man? Is he injured or something?
No. He wants. I think he's injured, but secretly he wants out. He wants out. So maybe he's just trying to edge his way out. But he is quote unquote injured.
Okay, I mean, if he wants to leave the club, then there's no point of keeping him. There's no point of having a player that doesn't want to play for you. If he has ambitions in Real Madrid, let him leave to Madrid. But I don't think a swap with Bale is the right move. Because if you want to swap Pogba, at least swap him with someone who still has time in his career, someone who can be the center of your team, like Pogba was for a while, and someone in the same role. So also someone who's not injury prone, because look, if you're gonna get Bale, especially in the Premier League, a very physical league, he's almost immediately gonna get injured.
Bale knows the league, Bale knows the league, man. He was balling in the league, so he knows how to originate, bro. You really tell me that United shouldn't take a dip like this? Really? What has Pogba done for United that has been so helpful over a season?
He knows the league, but your body is your body. He's gonna get injured. And When the United fans see that he gets injured, they're gonna regret it. He's 30 years old. When he gets injured, his career is pretty much over, especially if it's a big injury and it's a physical league. He knows the league. Okay, he knows the league. He might have a good spell of games, but they're not really that concerned in those positions. They have some good pace already. That with Rashford, Daniel James, they have good counter-attacking pace. They need a striker. They need a top striker that can finish the chances.
No,
that
they
can-
don't.
Yeah,
What-
Manny,
they do.
relax, man. Your time is coming,
Yeah,
man.
come
Hasn't finished your
on.
point.
Come on, how many times have we seen them lacking that top striker that they need to finish the games off? What?
top striker. They have Rashford and Martial.
Oh,
Rashford
don't
is not
tell
a
me
top
Rashford.
striker.
Don't tell
Hasn't
me-
finished your point.
don't
Manny,
tell me Rashford
Manny,
is
the
not a
mic will
top
come to you
striker.
very soon.
Rashford
Just
is not a
relax.
top
Hasn't finished
striker.
your point.
I'm talking about world-class strikers. I'm talking about not Rashford. What Rashford? The overhyped English dude who has pace, a bit of pace. Okay, so what does he do? He scored against Man City. All right, he's not that good. He's not that good.
Okay.
So he scores in some games and disappears for 100 games. No, they need a world-class striker, and they don't need an injury-prone winger like Bale, who's just gonna have some good games then get injured or lose fitness. Or I don't like his mentality. I've seen so many news with Madrid that he's leaving trainings, leaving Bernabeu. I don't know what's going on. He doesn't like this. He doesn't like that. What kind of mentality is that? And I think that really limited his career. His mentality. He doesn't have the mentality of a top player. So yeah, it's a bad swap. You could let Pogba leave, sell him, get someone else. Don't get Bale.
Okay. Manny, swap deal. Does it work? Does it benefit both teams?
No, United would have to be very stupid to even consider this. Bale is 30 years old. He's injured
It's
like everyone's.
wait, relax. Because I'm slightly over 30 and everything. Who says 30 is old?
For
For a winger, it's old.
for a winger, especially to swap for somebody that's
Bro,
20.
so you can't get 3 good years from Bale. You cannot get 3 good years from
Injury-prone
Bale.
winger.
Listen. First of all, it's an unnecessary buy. You don't really need Bale. That's number one. Number two, 30 years old for a winger is not a good sign, especially for a swap deal. See, if they were swapping Bale, you would maybe swap him for Ashley Young and McTominay combo, something like that. It makes it a little bit equitable. Pogba is in his peak of his career. He's still young. He has at least 10 years left.
Actually, young.
So it won't be a just. Man United would never even consider that. It would be almost moronic for them to trade that for a player they don't need and to give up such a valuable asset in Pogba. But speaking on Pogba, I think Man United shouldn't get rid of him. They should just let him play U23 for the remainder of his contract and see
Whoa!
what he wants to do with his career if he wants to get back and play on the field. Because you can't have these players just do whatever they want. At some point, you have to put your foot down. Or the next time you're trying to do something, another player is just going to do the same thing. So they have to let him understand they're doing the right thing now. Don't sell him. Just rot in the bench for however long he wants to rot in the bench. Do nothing.
Manny, you're talking to a Walker winner. You realize that.
It doesn't matter. It's Man United. It's top 3 big clubs in the world. So he has to have a little.
Manny, you're talking to it. So you're saying that they should allow a World Cup winner to rot on the bench. Are you sick in the head?
If he doesn't want to play for Man United, he should go to U23. He's not even trained with the first team. But that's just how it is, man. You can't allow these players to just tour around. You think if he did that in Man City, they would tolerate that? They would have him do it. It never.
So let me be clear. So are you saying this deal is good for Real Madrid, bad for Man United, or bad for both?
It's terrible for Man United. It's not even a deal. It's a robbery, basically.
What about for Real Madrid?
You're solving all Real Madrid's problems while solving none of your own problems. They're not getting a midfielder. They really wanted a midfielder. Say if they said they get Bale and Toni Kroos, okay, that's more of a deal they can talk about. You know, if I'm Man United, that's more of a deal I can stomach. But just Bale, no. So this is a deal for Real Madrid fans, but not a deal for Man United. Not at all.
All right. So Red, let's come to the Madrid fans now. Let's start off first with Red. So Red, this deal, try and take a step back first objectively, then look at it objectively. So first of all, objectively in a footballing sense, does this benefit both teams? Does it benefit one team? Does it a deal they think should happen with regards to it's benefiting both teams?
Yes. I think it would benefit both teams. If you look at, like, say for Manchester United, when I was watching against City yesterday, they were threatening from the left with Rashford. Martial was always a threat because he always had to have a player on him, or else he'll take a shoot, because that guy's just a shooter. He takes, like, you saw the goal. He's pretty good at it. But they had no one down the right. The right was non-threatening at all. No. He wasn't. He's not ready, man. He's not. He's too small. He's good. He's good. He shows potential, but I don't.
But he's not that dude, man.
Not yet. That's the thing. Is like United need, like, look. When you're a club like United, you don't have time to wait for players. You're always expected to compete. Again, like, he's a great player. I'm not trying to hate on him, but they need to give him time. They need to, like, give him sort of time, not put him under the pressure right now. Like, look at Rashford. Like, Rashford's great for his age, but because he's been the Premier League for 5 years, people always try to trash him and, like, you hold these records against him, even though he was mostly a sub, like, for most of that time. So, like, for young players, it's very hard when you put them under this kind of pressure. You need a player like Gareth Bale, a lightning rod, somebody, a big name that could sort of absorb that pressure. And he does live up to it. Gareth Bale has huge moments at Madrid, and I'm pretty sure if he goes to United, he'll deliver in big moments.
If he's
I'm gonna finish. I don't think that, though, a straight swap that's idiotic for United, because Pogba's market value is much higher than Bale's right now.
So you're saying so you're saying Bale plus cash?
Yeah. Bale, like sort of what Mane said. You know how he said, like, Bale and Kroos. That's I don't think that should be a thing. Kroos should stay, but, like, I mean, like, but I get what he's saying. Like, Mane plus, like, 60-70 mil. Bale plus 60-70 mil. Like, so I think that would be probably a fair deal.
So basically, if you were Real Madrid, would you sanction that deal of Bale plus 70 mil?
Oh, 100%. If Asensio didn't get injured in the summer, Bale would have been gone in the summer. That was it. The fact that Asensio got injured, that we lost Zidane's man on the right, that's what kept Bale in the squad. And then we had to keep James, because now that you kept Bale's more likely to get injured often, so you need a backup for him. So,
all right. So, Munsar, round us off then. This deal, how objectively speaking, do you think this is a deal that would benefit both sides? And then speak from a Madrid fan point of view.
Bro, okay. If I'll be objective here, I have to go objective because your show is, like, completely objective. You know, you have to be objective. So, bro, have you heard this phrase? Killing or shooting three targets by one bullet.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah,
two birds, one stone.
Oh, you can say that as well. That, yep. So that would be the kind of solution for Real Madrid. I mean, getting rid of Bale, replacing him by Paul Pogba, younger player, better players in his position. Okay, I mean, better marketing player as well, and future. Literally, what's for United? I think for United, it's really dull deal, man. I mean, it's so dull that I know that Gareth Bale can play left flank, Daniel James can play right flank, and they can somehow switch. But no, because that doesn't show them a passion to buy a 30 years old player. Nah, you cannot rely on it. I mean, even though he can produce some brilliant moment of magic or something like that, but United don't play in Champions League week in, week out. That's a question as well. Okay, which player? I mean, you can attract to play for your club. Let's be honest with you at this point. Which, might be Sancho, but we don't know. Apart from which world-class player will come to your club at the current stage. Because once Paul Pogba's leaving, that's a kind of sign. Oh my God, this world-class player, World Cup winner, one of the best midfielders in the world football right now, leaving your club, it's like everybody knows that, why he wants to leave. Even though if Paul Pogba doesn't live in this January summer transfer window, I believe that he's just left with 1 year of contract. I mean, next season is going to be his last season for United. So you know that in the September, or in the August or July summer transfer window, how much Paul Pogba price would be, reduced to, or to drop drastically, So I think this is the best point. For Man United, they should take Gareth Bale plus 70, 80, something like that, million cash, So, okay, they're getting a player who has experience, who's played at a world-class level, and they can invest, that 60, 70 or whatever the amount is, to buy a new player.
Okay, so you would urge United to take a Bale plus cash?
Exactly. If that's the option, for sure. Or else, if I want to just make it more, I mean, lucrative for the fans, instead of that, I can take Gareth Bale, James Rodriguez, and then some 30, 40 something, you know. So that would be also like more reasonable because Man United need number 10 as well. I mean, central attacking midfielder as well. So that could solve the problem.
So for Real Madrid, you think that this is something that Real Madrid should 100% pursue?
Of course, bro. Like Paul Pogba is a world class player. I mean, like the amount of this guy. Like I mean, this guy just needs to attack in Zidane team. His main responsibility, except for some of the big games in Champions League or El Clasico, he have some defensive responsibility. But it's just 1 or 2 games, in a season. Most of the time, you have to just attack. You'll directly replace Isco in that team. You'll be like a central attacking. I mean, what do you call diamond in our team. And that enhances Pogba because if you're giving Pogba an attacking role and you don't have to worry about defensive that much, this guy will thrive in that system, I believe.
No, because you see, I just seen someone. I think Sergio, the moderator, said that Pogba should go back to Juve. That's what Juve needs. Because for me, because I think that
Yes.
between Juve and Real Madrid, Juve may be the safer option, but I think Real Madrid, would be the right option. Because if you want to be a big man, you have to make it at Real Madrid. That's just where all the big guys have to make it. So just to sort of round things off, man, look, we'll see what happens. But in my view, I think it's a deal that United should make. Now, I think from what you guys are saying, cash. Bale plus cash, I think would be smart. So I think if you get Bale, so that cash is sort of like a security in case he's injured and everything. You still have the cash to get someone else. But to just have him in your books, where if you're lucky, fingers crossed, he's fit, my God, man, what an amazing asset to have. And with regards to Real Madrid, Pogba is that electricity, is that extra kind of spark that they need because there's only so much that can do. Benzema's been doing great, but if you just add just that one spark into that team like a Pogba, I think Real Madrid could now take the next step. Guys, peace out, stay true, stay real, man. I'm out. Peace, guys. See you guys next week. I'm out.
Forza Milan.
Peace out.
Peace out.